Don here. Well, back with another live stream, and let me check it. Just remembered, make sure it's all working. Okay. Um, got a package to open up today. I thought I knew what it was, and then I looked in my emails, and I think it's something else. So that's where it came from there. And let's go ahead and open it up. Get my keyboard out of the way. And you'll have to aim the camera down here. Okay, let's see. So, probably, well, if I need the endoscope, I've got it over there. That's why that's there, not just to show that tag. Oh, something. Usually use the knife on boxes and the scissors on bags. Just easier that, well, for one, on a bag, you know, you might, yeah, I would have cut. Got to be careful with the scissors too, but there's some, there's a bag in a bag. Oh, this must be one of those joke Christmas presents. It's not Christmas yet, though. Now, I ordered this. Oh, cool. It's a brand new Priority Mail sack. You might need that one day. Maybe they thought that, but I guess they were just trying to protect it with the extra bubble wrap in there. Yeah, I save, sometimes I save too many, but I save these, boxes. A few boxes. We order so much stuff these days, we got too many boxes, so I get one that seems kind of cool or special, good for something. But those things, of course, you can get, well, you used to could get those free if you go down to the post office. Send something if you're using Priority Mail, but, well, I don't go down there anymore, hardly ever. I've been there in years, and well, if you've got them, you don't have to go down there. You can just put your stuff in there and tell them to come pick it up. So I'm just going to open these bags up. Haven't told you what it was yet. You'll just have to see it. All right. So you probably know what it is then. It's a charger, power supply, whatever you want to call it, whichever you want to call it. I call them both. Let's see. What is that? Endoscope again. Oh, it's I don't know why you'd need well, they use those for just like getting you to the website. I was going to say, I don't know why you need that to, there's not going to be an app for this thing, I don't think. That's what I was thinking, the app download things. Reflection. Adaptive fast charging. Let's get the plastic off so that we can... And it's USB, 110 volt American to USB. I knew I'd do that. Oops, wrong camera. Okay, so yeah, sometimes I set my USB camera over here to where you can. I can show the widescreen and the close-up at the same time, which I suppose would be a good idea. But the way I had the cable, there we go. Oh, good. Now it's really all over the world. Anyway, no matter what I do, something seems to not quite come. It gets in the way a little bit too, but it's not that bad, is it? Okay, so in order, okay, so there, yeah. In order to get it to, this is why I was wanting to see if I could see that. I'll have to go to full endoscope if I'm going to read it, and I doubt anybody else could either. That's Samsung brand, I didn't know that. Okay, I thought it was just going to be a. It is so hard to. If I straighten that up more, maybe it would. So hard to line it up for me. Because it's like turning this camera around. It's a round barrel close-up camera. I can't say the right word. Endoscope, and well, the cable. It's a wired. It's a USB, and it's got a long stiff wire. And so when I twist the I have it mounted on a tripod and rigged up on a tripod, and when I twist it, move it, and turn it, it always turns the camera on it. And no matter what I do, that looks blurry. And that's a little less blurry. And so anyway, that still doesn't make me be able to read it. Sometimes you can use a magnifying glass. It does help, doesn't it? So travel adapter, I wonder if that would work. I think having it like where I had it, yeah, I'm just making everything worse. Anyway, the orientation, I just can't get it. It doesn't work. My brain doesn't do it. And I'll try to, set the endoscope up to where, if I turn it like you would normally would to see it yourself, then it's good. But, yeah, no matter the harder I try to get it in there, the worse I get. I'd start to say, okay, maybe if I move the tripod, that just made it worse. And then, of course, we got this reflection from the light. It's still not where I can read it. That's my whole goal here, is to get it where I can read it. And then I bumped into the camera. Okay. I still can't really read it. Some other people might be able to read it, but I can't. I know what it's supposed to be. And that's what I was checking. I want to check. It should be, 5 volts. Some kind of symbol. 1.67 amps, and then it says 5 volts again, 2 amps. And of course, the input is 100, 240, 50 to 60 hertz, and half an amp on AC voltage. Okay, so that's the thing I wanted to know. And it has USB output on the side. Of course, like I said, that's the standard American plug. I wonder if South America uses the same plug and the same voltage. I don't know that. Everybody knows about Europe and America. Everybody talks about that all the time. Nobody ever says what it is in South America. I was thinking about that because I've been watching some videos where this girl, her channel's called Itchy Boots, and she's riding a Royal Enfield trail street bikes, what I called them back in my day. They call them adventure bikes now. But she's riding it. Well, she's riding it around South America. I think she's fixing to make it to Patagonia. She started a little north of Patagonia on the east side of the continent of South America. And I'm trying to figure out how to get this plastic out of here. And jabbering. Can't do that, can I? I can't talk and do stuff at the same time. Anyway, she's going to keep riding until she gets to Alaska. And so it's making, I like, she's fun to watch, and she's nice, and it's just pretty cool to see a young lady doing something like that. And when I was 15 years old, I never dreamed about going that far, but I just wanted to do it around here in America. And I never got to do it. I couldn't afford a motorcycle. I bought a used car, and then in a couple of, but that was when I was 16 when I got my license, and then when I was 18 I got married and started raising kids, and never did that. So, here's your micro USB. We got a tag to read. It's like, is it a mattress tag? I always get a kick out of those mattress tags. I used to tell, don't rip these off. It's against the law or whatever. And I used to tell my kids, don't rip those off. Be careful with those. Mattress police will come and get you. I still tell people that when I get a chance. Yeah, well, I'm just not going to even try, but it's got, oh, there we go. It's got the voltage on it. But it seems to be 5 volt. 5 volt at 2 amps. It's like it says it can do 5 volt at 2 amps or 9 volt at 1.67 amps. It says that. Huh. This is supposed to be a quick charger. But I didn't see that on the page when I was looking it up, anything about it could do any more than 5 volts. It almost kind of worries me because I don't know if what I bought it for. It said, I'll look on the page where I bought it. What it said is that it would work with Amazon tablet. But glad I see. That's why I inspect stuff, but to see if I got what was advertised. Mostly, but oh. Well, I was on the wrong camera that whole time. When I first started making videos, I don't think it was 3 years ago, when I set all this up with all the different scenes, I was much better at hitting the right cameras at the right time. Now, I bet I did that every time. This was my point, to have the endoscope, see where you can see the wide view and also the close-up view. Because it's really hard to stay under the endoscope. For me, so at least you can tell what's going on. That's my idea. With this, what I've been doing. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, this is just a regular USB cable that was for one of my phones. Micro to regular. I always forget the letters, so I won't call them out. And I have a power man, my brain is going nuts. I have a AC power conditioner, 110 volt with 110 volt plugs. It's kind of a cool one. It's in the living room, and I made a video about it one time. Can't remember what the brand was, but it has USB charging plugs on it. And when I plug it in with this, it says, "Oh, you plugged this into a low power." I was thinking it did 2 amps, but maybe it does 1. Low power device. It will not charge fast, but it said it may not charge while if it's running, it may not charge. And normally, with a normal charger, it will run. Oh, where's the? Hang on. Also the reason that I bought that charger, this is the original charger that came with the Amazon Fire tablet. 110 volts input, 240, 110 to 240 it will accept. So if you had one of those adapters for Europe or whatever, then it would still work, 50 to 60 hertz. And here it's 100, well, I said 110, it says 100. We call it 100. 110 is to 125 is what we have here. Our voltage may vary from 110 to 125 in any given socket in your house. Depends on draw and what you're being supplied and all that, and our equipment. And that's why I see it says most stuff is made. A lot of times it won't go down as low as 100, but everything is made with a range. Otherwise it wouldn't work. So this is operational from 100 to 240 volts AC, VAC, volts AC, and 50 to 60 hertz. So here we have 60 hertz electricity over in Europe. I don't know. I'm finding out more and more about watching people's videos that live over there. And I've seen 2 or 3 different type of plugs they use over there too. We have one type here, this type right here, and what I've also found out is that their hertz sometimes they're 50. I thought everybody over there was 50 hertz, but some countries use 60 hertz at 240 volts though. So, but evidently, as long as it's in, it's fine. As long as it could be 110 or 100 to 240. So, learn. The more you try, the more you pay attention, the more you learn. So, I thought I had it all figured out until last couple of years when I've been watching some people's videos, that lived overseas. So yeah, and see, this is output to 5 volts, and when it just DC 5 volts, they always write it out a little different. Sometimes they'll say VDC or every different way. Sometimes they won't say that it's DC, but you just know it because from experience. At 5 volts, 2 amp, but that can get you in trouble because now these are kind of standardized. If you see that micro USB, then it's going to be 5 volts DC. But the amperage, if your device can't take 2 amps, 2 amps could blow up some equipment. So you got to pay attention to the amperage. You got to pay attention to the voltage, but you got to pay attention to the amperage. And there's a little bit of leeway on the voltage, but you'd have to look into some serious manuals on your device to find out that. A spec sheet or a data sheet or something. So when shopping for this, let me go get on that page now. When shopping for this, let's see. Yeah, let's just continue, and then I'll get back to the tablet. Didn't change to desktop. Okay, so here's the page where I bought it, and a while ago, how crazy! A while ago it said they were out of stock. Let's reload the page again. Now they're back in stock. This seemed like the best. This was the best deal I found on one that had. Now there was only one review, and they got 5 stars. But Walmart doesn't get near as many people reviewing on their site as Amazon does. So I kind of went more with. I figured, well, it's probably all right if at least one person thought it was okay, and it's got the specs I wanted and a good price, because the prices, they vary a lot. So going up, and the features that I wanted, I wanted a long enough cable. I didn't want 5-foot cable. I didn't want a 4-foot cable, because if you want to use it plugged in, then you can't move. You're just stuck, like you can't move. With the 4-foot cable that we already had, I think it was 4 foot. Yeah, could have been shorter than that. Anyway, you couldn't. If it ran down and you were trying to use it, you're still going to have to set on that end of the couch, because that's where that is. It's the power. Or near a power plug. But anyway, that's just what we generally do, is set right in there, and or they do. I don't really use tablets, but so this will give you enough room you can move without yanking on that thing. And I forgot to show you to prove that point. Oh no, it's not broken to where you can see it. So anyway, here's the. What was I going to say? Let me look at this. If there's any more specs in here. Okay. Yeah, it says it's adaptive fast charger. But it does say dual voltage, 9 volt and 5. I miss stuff so easy. 9 volt and 5. Okay, so it's supposed to charge your device in 30 minutes. Let's see what it did say. And it said, you notice at the title, I didn't mention that, but on the title it says Amazon Fire 7. Well, the one I have is actually a 5, but the more I researched, I realized that the charger will be fine, on a 5 one. These will be fine. Let me make sure. If it doesn't support the fast charging, very fast, if your model does not support the fast charging, this will still charge, and most cases will charge faster than the original. So I guess that thing must have, the charger that I bought must have some electronics in it to sense whether or not the device, has will accept the fast charging. So if it doesn't, then it'll just give it the 5 volts. But if it does, it'll give it 9 volts. So yeah, that could be. So I'm going to pay attention here, because you give 9 volts to some devices, that would be enough to damage them. So let's make sure we don't do that. And it says so, but let's kind of, I'll plug it in here. And I was planning on doing that anyway, but let's. I probably wouldn't have bought the thing if I just realized that. I don't know how I missed the 9 volts in that sentence, but I kept seeing all the other stuff, and it was, it told me that it was going to be fine, and so you know what you get and everything. Compatibility. Let's see. I don't think it mentions the Fire down here. Universal charging. I don't see. Oh, that says fast charging. And I wanted the detachable cable so that we'd have a data cable, also double as a data cable for the tablet and all that. Or be able to just plug it in if you wanted to have it near a computer and keep it plugged in, you could do that. One reason why I would want to have them plugged in, when I do use a tablet, I just can't stand touch screens, so I have a wireless keyboard and mouse and an adapter to be able to plug them in. I can plug them into anything with a micro USB, but my phones, the one I'm using for cameras and everything, doesn't support OTG. So I think it would if I would go ahead and my operating system. It's old and it doesn't get new updates, but I think I might be able to put a new enough one on there if I just get around to it on them. There's 3 of them that I'd need to do though. To get it to work with that, but I usually just use them for cameras anyway because I can't see the screens. This tablet here is too small for me, much less my 4-inch phone screens. But so this one, let's see where it is now. Well, anyway, what I was going to say is this original charger, what I figured out is the charger's still putting out power, but if you wiggle it a little bit right here, it'll come and go. So I'm sorry, it's at the other end. It's at this end. I was thinking you could see that the insulation had been pulled back. Yeah, right there. So, I'm sure the wire, if you don't know already, the copper inside of the insulation, even though the insulation's all good, of course the outer's not, but the inner is, you can see, copper will just break, being bent back and forth over time. It will, especially if you do things like that with it and leave it like that. That's actually worse on them usually. They'll usually break it up inside more than if it, gets wiggled around. But so it's been wiggled around enough that it broke, and I might be able to. While I was looking at it, I just wanted to get a good charger for it so I went ahead and bought one. But maybe I'll get around to. I'm thinking that I might be able to. This looks like it was slipped in there. Some of them, they look like, I've tried to get them off, and you can't get them off without cutting them. But there is one thing that I may have tried it before, but this one looks like that maybe, like I'd cut the wire back here. That's what, you just cut it back far enough, get rid of the bad part, and then heat this up a little bit. Not with a flame that you would run it. You'd destroy it really, but it would just burn the outside and the inside wouldn't get warm. But like set it under a hair dryer or something. It's not too hot, and then just let it sit there for 5 minutes if you need to. Get it nice and warm, and then be careful about pulling this out because it's hollow and you'll tear it up. Matter of fact, I'd squeeze it side to side, but if you start seeing it buckling up, then that's too much. So anyway, that's why it'd be really tricky. But I thought it'd be worth a try. But I don't know what that is. I guess that was a sticker that was on it when it was new. This cover. That looks kind of gross. So, I thought this was off, and when I said it woke up on it. I thought it was off, and then when I unplugged it, it was plugged into the charger. Is that where the button is? Should be. Put in there different. Oh, I guess that's not the way that they handle it. I got it backwards. There's a magnet on that thing. It was grabbing onto my metal edge of my table. Yeah, that's the way it needs to be in there. Okay, so I was trying to wake it up. Yeah. Oh, now it's upside down. I guess it flipped now. Okay. So oh yeah, this is an Amazon tablet. You can't put. I was fixing to say, I could install a battery app that I found for my phones that makes it shows you the charging and everything, but it's probably not available. Well, that one's not, I'm sure, because Amazon, you have to only use their app store, and they don't have much of anything in there. So let me see if I can show what I was talking about. First, I'm going to plug this in. This is not going to be that charger in the living room. It's going to be a computer. I think it'll be the same results. We'll find out. I don't think it'll show it. The charging status. Well, you could probably go in there, okay, but it's not going to pop up. It pops up a message. There it is. Yeah, fire is. You may have seen it you may not have one, but. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Let me see if I can figure out which way might make that right side up. That's upside down. That's what I knew that. Okay. And that kind of blocks everything else, but yeah, it's finally almost right side up. This is why I don't give up on trying to line things up with this thing. Okay. Hey, it did it. Okay, so the fire is connected at to a low-powered charger. Your fire may not charge while in use. If you leave it connected, it will charge slowly while the device is asleep. Okay. So it does do that while it's running. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it sitting right there. And that's the same, I figured the computer, I knew that computers, USB didn't put out a high, amperage. I figured it would do that. So now we got to plug this new charger in somewhere. I think I'll plug it into my power strip. This is the simple word I was trying to say. It's going to be kind of hard for me to get to it, but I think I can plug it into a power strip down here. Yeah, especially that I'm, assuming this works like it's supposed to. Data connection would be very good because I don't know why it didn't. Anyway, during all this, figuring all this out, I went ahead and hooked up to my computer and backed up all the data on this tablet. And I remember, well, it hadn't been done in a long time. I don't know if I ever did it that way before or not. I used to back it up to Amazon when we had Prime because you had unlimited space for backing up and stuff and pictures, and then I decided that wasn't worth it after a couple of years, 2 or 3 years. Just wasn't worth it, and they went up on the price, and so I quit using it. I still get stuff there sometimes, but actually pretty often. But so I'm trying to plug it in. Where's the spot where I'm supposed to be? There I am. I don't know which way is which. So, okay, I guess it goes that way. That little deal gets in the way. There we go. Okay, so we got it plugged in. And so it's not popping up anything. So, if I can get that up. If I could get that up higher, I could show. It's won't be able to hold it. So I'll just leave it like that and kind of move it around, I guess. So the phone, it would be even harder to get it in the right place. So anyway, I was going to. I'm going to see if there's an app. See, this thing is all different. There we go. Apps. Gosh, I can't type on this thing. I don't know what. The last time I just did that, I went to search games and apps and then went there. Last time I tried this, I think I had the USB keyboard plugged into it. That's what I did. Okay. I'll try typing. Let's see, battery. Listen. Battery saver. It's not really what I was looking for, but filter. Thought they had one where you could say free. Maybe they only do that on Google. Oh, you can filter by price. Oh, there it is. Free. Drop down list. Don't you just love those things? Go away. Get out of my way so I can read. I don't know. There. Okay. Fast battery charger saver. Battery saver for Kindle Fire tablets. I don't want a battery saver. I want a what's going on thing. Those things just screw everything up. I tried using those on my phones. Closing stuff you don't want. Like try to use your camera and it'll close it or something like that, And they actually use up more than they save. Use up use more RAM, use more processor, and cause your. I swear I tried one, and I swear I ran the battery down quicker than with it not on there. They say they don't do that, but battery saver, max battery saver. They do have a lot of them. Those are popular apps. Super clear, battery saver, phone boost. The only way I've seen to help is to use let's see, what is it called on Android? The best app I've seen, what's it called? Toolbox. Where you can go in there and force things not to open up, not to run in the background. Still gets tricky because, like, when next time you get an update, they'll probably open up in the background again. And if you want to be safe, you better keep everything updated that you can. So I have auto updates turned on. Double battery saver, touch charger, battery saver repair. Oh, it's only a small portion of the screen that's showing, and I'm not showing the screen. Battery checker. Oh, battery checker. Still is battery saver. Seems to be too many of them to. Oh, I think you can have more than one filter. Let's don't do the review because let's see. This one here has 4.5 stars, and it just says battery, so maybe it is the kind of thing I want. Let's see if it tells the specs and everything. Battery monitor. Let you know how many hours you've been doing stuff. Oh, the other thing is they're always turn off your Wi-Fi, and I want my Wi-Fi always on. I don't even have service on my phones. I just use them for mostly for cameras and for a pocket computer if I ever, or really just maybe for some special app. Say like only app I can really think of that I don't have anywhere else is Wi-Fi monitor app that I got on my phones, and I can't get that on a desktop. I don't have Wi-Fi on my desktop. Laptops, I've never seen anything real good for that. Let's see. I want to monitor the Wi-Fi devices and see what channel to put my router on, so not try to fight with the neighbor's Wi-Fi and all like that. Really helps a lot. Just that one simple change. I don't know what all that list of junk is, but I'm going to get it. Kind of, yeah, it's free, right? Got to watch out on here because I think if you download something that's not free, it may charge you. I did not pay attention. Yeah, top free utilities. Okay. So I'm going to get it. Let's see. What's it going to do to me? Access information about networks, collect battery, connect paired Bluetooth devices, disable the keyboard. Why would you want it to disable the keyboard? You couldn't, unless it means an external keyboard. Well, some of them have a keyboard that's with them, some tablets. Well, I was planning on uninstalling it after I look it over anyway. Now, I feel like I'm really just wasting time here, but I'll do it now that I've already found it. And it is downloading. Okay, open. It gives you a chance to open it right there. That's good. Ah, here it is, right here. So, it's got a big green battery, and we're at 93%. And the current consumption, 8 hours, 19 minutes left. Well, the battery's still pretty good shape then. The battery in the tablet, you know. Uh, Standby 255 hours. Music. Whoa, that's helpful. I want to know what the volts are, the amps, how much it's. I don't think this thing's worth the crap. 6 hours. Come on. That's all you're giving me? Time to charge. AC 0 hours 25 minutes. So yeah, I don't. Then obviously it's not fast charging at 9 volts. I can gather that because if it was getting 9 volts, it would be charged in less than 30 minutes because it's at 94% right now. So that's time to charge AC, time to charge USB. Those are just estimates then. That's not real time. I'm expecting this to be like the one I have on my phone, which is good. I can't show it to you because I'm using both my phones as cameras right now. But games. I'll go through here until I run out of stuff to look at, but this is useless stuff. Good battery, Lion. Temperature 84.2. Voltage 3.935. See, the 5 volt, for example, there, you might think you have a 5 volt battery, but no, the charging, it takes 5 volts or a little more to charge it. If your battery was 5 volts, you'd have to have 6 volts, 7 volts, maybe even more to charge it. Look at that. That's almost 4 volts. So you need at least 5 volts. Your charger probably, a regular charger may put out a little more than 5 volts, maybe at least a little less. So it's not a real wide range, but you need around a volt more than what your battery is to charge at least, if not more. And if your electronics, for instance, this charger would put out up to 9 volts if the electronics can take it. But I think that they have, I'm assuming, I don't know, you know what that does. But I am assuming that there's a chip in that charger that senses whether or not the device can handle the fast charging. I think there's supposed to be a talkback thing in fast charging devices to say, hey, I'm a fast charging device. So no, this is really useless, and I'm not going to keep doing that. So I see that X, I was fixing to hit it. Okay, now how do you uninstall it? There we go. Bet we'll find out how to uninstall it right there. That's a useless app, though, really. I mean, almost useless. It was a little bit of something in there, but there's some stuff up here that actually looked to me like it was grayed out. Change your device name. I just figured out if I pick up the back leg, it makes it not blurry. I think this is part of this looks to me like, yeah, that's part of the actual, that up there is not part of this device, I don't think. Part of this app. What's this? Not enough data. Maybe it is part of this app. Battery color, charge level alerts. Temperature. There's a plus mark there. Did you like the app? Yeah, so that is part of the app. I went through this thing for hours the other day. I hate this thing. Okay, yeah. I'll click on it one more time. I think it's just going to open it up again. I didn't want that. Brought up the keyboard. And I just opened up the app again. Okay. It won't. There you go. You got to do it just in the right spot to get it to throw it over to the side and make it go away. To close the app. Let's see. I don't know why this one won't go away though. The search thing, music store, video. It doesn't show up in there that you can get it to make it go away. Okay, well finally. Okay, so the only thing I know to do now is go to the settings. Let's see. In Google, you can go to the Google App Store and you can install and uninstall. But evidently you can't in here. I remember seeing a place to uninstall apps in the over here on this side. I'll look at it up on that screen. Maybe I'll be able to see it. Can't find it. There's the battery app. There it is, settings. I don't know, I just couldn't see it. Let's see now. Apps and games. Manage all applications. Manage battery. Yeah, that's the one I want. 24.13 megabytes too. Not a small app. Okay, force stop. Uninstall. Kind of washed out on the camera, but there it is. Do I want to uninstall? Why, yes, I do. Okay, now there's not a heck of a lot of space left on this thing, so I definitely don't want to add any more junk to it and leave it there. It can put a SD card in it, but not really any need in doing that. Well, it wouldn't help you with app space, at least. Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know about this thing. That my phones, it does, because most apps you can move to the SD card. It adds. It's kind of like Windows, even though you, it still puts stuff in the system, So the system files, they stay. Excuse me. System files stay on the system flash memory, and the even though you move things to the I did it again. I'm trying to go to the other camera and went to the wrong one. So I'm gonna turn it off. And then that's what I was. If you just touch the power button with it off, it should show the battery. Just the battery icon and what's going on with it. This one doesn't. I'm gonna end up turning it on, and I don't want it on. Okay, so I'm just going to go. I think it's fine. I don't think it's going to hurt it. That's the main thing. So I'm going to go take it in the living room, plug it in. And put that back. All right. So there we go. That was actually turned out. I really was just thought it'd be just an unbagging video, but that turned out to be a little bit of something. Okay, so bending over like this. This is not the way I usually sit, but when I put my workbench up here to do stuff like that, then there's not. I could do it on my keyboard if there was enough room, but there's not, and I can't. We'll have a toolbox down here. The legs are in the way. I can't lean back like I normally do, so I lock my chair up forward like that, which just kills my neck. And so I'm leaning forward the whole time. hurts now. And I'm fixing to do another video where I'm going to have to do that. So, so I'm whining. All right. That's it. There's no need in carrying the phone camera in there to show it, plugging it in. That's not much to see. All right. So, going to be back later with one on my new security camera. All right. Bye.